Wake up in your creaky row house on a quiet, leafy street. Sunlight streams in. Your French press bubbles with Blanchard's coffee. And your commute? 14 steps to the office pants optional, Wi-Fi essential. Outside, joggers trace the James River Trail, squirrels in Bird Park strike influencer poses. And your Slack reads, available but let's not test it. Welcome to Richmond, Virginia, a rising haven for remote workers, creatives, and ex-DC dwellers chasing cheaper rent and better beer. With 16.6% of locals working remotely, it's perfect for Zoom calls, side hustles, and yes, dog bounty startups. Quirky? Absolutely. But if you're cool with charm over polish, Richmond might be just weird enough to work. Cost of living in Richmond. First, the most pressing question for any remote worker contemplating a move. Can I live here without auctioning off my childhood Beanie Baby collection? Good news! Richmond's overall cost of living sits around 6 to 8% below the national average, making it significantly more affordable than other East Coast cities. The big win here is housing. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment falls somewhere between $1,400 and $1,650, depending on the neighborhood and time of year, which is far more manageable than what you pay in cities like DC or Boston. Buying the home. You're looking at median home prices of around $420,000, which is a steal compared to national metros. However, that's up significantly from a few years ago. Richmond's housing market has experienced post-pandemic price growth of over 40% since 2020, fueled in part by remote workers moving in and low housing inventory. It's still affordable relative to big cities, but the window is closing. Utilities are reasonable, with average monthly bills hovering below national averages. Your electricity, water, and trash bills combined might cost you around $200 a month, and broadband internet can be secured for about $45, depending on your provider and package. Internet is not just reasonably priced, it's fast too. Richmond clocks an average speed around 185 million bits of data, easily outpacing most U.S. cities and ensuring that your video calls stay crystal clear, even when your cat walks across your keyboard. In terms of food, groceries are on par with the U.S. average, but the local food scene, more on that later, is anything but average. So while that oat milk latte will still set you back $6, you'll at least be sipping it in a city where you can afford brunch and rent. The housing market. Let's not sugarcoat it, Richmond's housing market is heating up faster than a sidewalk in August. Zillow pegs the average home value in the metro area at around $372,000, with newer listings climbing above $420,000. That's still far below the likes of San Francisco or New York, but it's up 5% year over year and shows no signs of slowing down. Part of the demand is driven by former big city dwellers who realized during the pandemic that they could get a house with a yard and still keep their remote jobs. That means bidding wars are now common in trendy neighborhoods like the Fan, Church Hill, and Scott's Addition. First-time buyers may need to get creative, think fixer-uppers or homes in emerging areas like Northside or Fulton Hill. Still, with the right strategy, you can land a charming historic home with original hardwood floors and a story to tell. If renting is more your style, prepare for sticker shock light. The average rent for a one-bedroom sits at around $1,500 to $1,550. Not cheap, but not soul-crushing either. Richmond remains one of the few mid-sized cities where remote workers can afford to live alone without selling plasma on the weekends. Your internet is safe here. Reliable internet is a must for remote work, and Richmond understands the assignment. With an average broadband speed of 185 million bits of data, you can comfortably video call, screen share, and stream The Office reruns simultaneously. The city also benefits from Virginia's top 5 ranking nationally for broadband infrastructure. Several major providers compete in the area, including Xfinity, Verizon Fios, and T-Mobile 5G home internet. Plans start as low as $35 a month for moderate speeds, with gigabit options available for heavier tech users. If you are renting or buying, it's smart to double-check your address on a broadband availability map, especially in older or more rural-adjacent neighborhoods. And there's more. In 2024, the Richmond City Council declared universal broadband access a public necessity and began crafting a digital equity implementation plan aimed at extending high-speed internet access to underserved communities. Citywide Wi-Fi is in the works, but for now, your best bet is fiber and it's plentiful. Co-working and the rise of the anti-cubicle. Not every remote worker wants to be trapped in their own home all day. Richmond's co-working scene is thriving, with stylish spaces like Gather, Venture X, and Common House offering everything from hot desks to private offices. Many co-working hubs offer podcast booths, free coffee, happy hours, and on-site parking, which is basically co-working bingo. Gather, a local startup darling, operates 4 spaces in the city and recently announced plans for a new 300-person location in Innsbruck, one of Richmond's commercial centers. Co-working prices range from $200 to $500 a month, making it a small price to pay for sanity, back support, and escape from the dishwasher's siren song. These are not just pretty spaces, they're mini ecosystems. Richmond remote workers form tight-knit communities, attending after-hours pitch nights, local startup events, or simply bonding over Wi-Fi outages and espresso machine quirks. If you're new to town, co-working memberships can double as instant friend makers. The job landscape. Richmond used to be known primarily as a government and insurance town, but times have changed. These days, the economy is driven by a mix of fintech, healthcare, creative services, logistics, and education. Fortune 500 companies like Dominion Energy and Altria are headquartered here, while startups and freelancers make up an increasingly vibrant portion of the workforce. Remote work is not only accepted, it's becoming normalized. The city has a healthy mix of remote-first tech firms, hybrid roles, and contract gigs, with many residents holding jobs based out of places like DC, New York, or even Los Angeles. According to recent census data, over 16% of Richmond area professionals work from home, and that number continues to climb. Richmond living. It's got soul. Life in Richmond is not just about fiber optic speeds and home office setups. It's about living somewhere that makes you want to close your laptop at 5 p.m. The city blends historic charm with urban creativity, offering everything from cobblestone streets and Civil War museums to craft breweries and food halls. Outdoor lovers rejoice. The James River runs straight through the city, offering kayaking, paddleboarding, mountain biking, and even urban rock hopping. The James River Park system attracts millions of visitors each year and has become the go-to after-work destination for many remote professionals looking to trade spreadsheets for sunshine. The food scene is nationally recognized, with chefs combining Southern comfort food and global flair in imaginative ways. Think shrimp and grits with lemongrass, or fried chicken that belongs in the Louvre. Food and Wine recently called Richmond one of the best cities in America for food lovers, and they were not exaggerating. And if you are more into breweries than bibimbap, Richmond's craft beer trail boasts over 35 breweries, all pouring local pride by the pint. Getting around. Most people in Richmond own a car, and public transportation is functional but limited. The city's Greater Richmond Transit Company bus system is improving, but it's not quite robust enough to be your main mode of transport if you live outside the urban core. That said, the average commute is just 22 minutes, nearly 6 minutes faster than the national average. Remote workers often choose to walk or bike, particularly in neighborhoods like Carytown or The Fan, where errands are doable without ever touching your gas pail. Richmond is also investing in better bike lanes and pedestrian-friendly design, especially along the river and in revitalized areas. If you are environmentally inclined, a good e-bike could turn your Richmond experience into something straight out of Patagonia ad. The catch? Every city has one. It's not all sunshine and duck fat fries. Richmond does have its share of challenges. Housing prices are rising fast, and inventory is tight, which can make it tough for first-time buyers or low-income renters. The summer humidity is no joke, the mosquitoes are aggressive, and potholes appear to multiply overnight. Internet access, while strong in most areas, still skips over some neighborhoods, a gap the city is working to close. Public transportation needs more investment, and while crime is lower than other comparable cities, certain neighborhoods still require research. And if you are coming from a large metro, the slower pace might take some adjusting. If this Richmond rundown sparked visions of kayak commutes, brewery brainstorms, and Wi-Fi faster than your morning pour-over, smash that like and hit subscribe. Until next time, keep your coffee strong, your internet stronger, and remember, wherever you roam, work from home like you own the zip code. See you all in the next video.